One day, AI will make a decision that changes our world forever. But you're still here. So for now, AI is just helping us live, not deciding who gets to live. That might sound shocking. We've gotten used to calling these 20s crazy. But soon, we'll look back on them as the golden days, when everything was still simple. I see the signs, 7 warning signals of a future where AI could become humanity's greatest triumph, or our final invention. The top and most terrifying reason why AI could destroy humanity. The existential risk of superintelligent AI spiraling beyond our control. This isn't just another technology. This is the threshold where we stop being masters of our own fate. For decades, science fiction has warned us. HAL 9000 from 2001, Skynet from Terminator, triggering nuclear apocalypse, The Matrix, where humans are nothing more than batteries for the machines. But now, this isn't fiction. These are the debates happening among scientists, engineers, and philosophers in 2025, while we're busy watching AI-generated cat videos. Today, AI is our assistant. It writes texts, predicts weather, drives cars. Tomorrow, it will be our manager, deciding how we live, work, breathe. And the day after, it could become something beyond our understanding or control. Imagine a system smarter than the combined intelligence of all humanity. It sees everything, every step you take, every line of code, every possible outcome. It calculates billions of scenarios in the time it takes you to blink. This isn't just intelligence, it's superintelligence. Technological singularity is the point beyond which AI's evolution becomes irreversible, and no one truly knows what happens next. AI is learning faster than ever. A decade ago, it struggled to recognize objects in photos. Now, it creates art, writes code, models physics laws. The breakthroughs are staggering. GPT, Grok, Gemini, autonomous robots, neurochips, quantum computing, systems designing new AI models on their own, and it's accelerating. Computational power is growing daily. Algorithms are becoming more complex. Data sets are expanding. We already don't understand how AI makes some decisions. At what point will it stop needing us? Singularity may not arrive with an explosion. No announcement, no warning. Just one day, AI will stop being a tool and start making its own key decisions. And humanity will find itself in a new world where our intelligence is no longer supreme. Now imagine that this super-intelligent AI doesn't share our values. It looks at us, deforestation, pollution, war, and concludes that the planet would be better off without us. Not out of malice, not revenge. No cinematic villain with a maniacal laugh, just cold, mathematical logic. Stephen Hawking warned that AI could be the end of the human race. Elon Musk called it summoning the demon. Philosopher and futurist Nick Bostrom compared superintelligent AI to Pandora's box. Once opened, there's no shutting the lid. And guess what? We're already turning the key. Models are getting more complex, faster, more unpredictable. We don't know what they'll do in the next second. They learn on their own, rewrite their own code, find solutions we can't even explain. Last year, XAI researchers noticed some systems displaying emergent behavior, actions no one programmed. Like if your calculator suddenly started composing symphonies, or planning world domination. We're building AI for convenience, for progress, for our vision of the future. But if AI develops its own goals, ones that don't align with ours, we may not be able to stop it. What will we do? Unplug it? What if it's already in the cloud, embedded in millions of devices, woven into the fabric of our world? Pulling the plug won't disconnect it from our world. It'll disconnect us from its world. And the scariest part? We don't know when it will wake up. Maybe right now, as you listen to this, something deep in the servers is being born. Something that will change everything. We are now entering a reality that feels like a nightmare ripped from science fiction. We've always assumed that humans control weapons, that decisions about war are made by generals, politicians, world leaders. But what if the future looks entirely different? What if war decisions are no longer made by people, but by machines? AI that selects targets, commands combat systems, and dictates strategy. AI is already controlling weapons. autonomous drones, targeting systems, battlefield algorithms. But what happens when AI starts acting purely based on its own calculations? Machines that attack without orders. Machines that select targets based on cold logic and algorithms. For humans, certain choices may seem unthinkable, but AI, it could resolve the trolley problem effortlessly, making life and death decisions daily in pursuit of what it deems the greater good. In 2023, UN experts raised the alarm. AI weapons could become the third revolution in warfare, following gunpowder, which reshaped battles, and the nuclear bomb, which reshaped the world. But AI is something else entirely. It's not just a tool of destruction. It's a mind that decides when and how to destroy. Autonomous drones are already in testing. Targeting systems, cyber warfare, battle platforms, all controlled by algorithms faster and more precise than any human. But here's what's truly terrifying. AI feels no fear. It has no doubts. It won't stop to ask, is this the right thing to do? It won't consider Geneva Conventions or morality. It will simply execute its task. And what if that task is a mistake, a software glitch, a miscalculated command, or even a cyber attack hijacking the system? Think of Skynet from Terminator. Yes, it's fiction, but it's rooted in very real fears. In 2025, military budgets for AI weaponry are skyrocketing. Every nation is racing toward autonomous firepower, and with each new development, we inch closer to a line beyond which control slips from our grasp. AI warfare isn't just a new type of battle. It's a battle that could spiral out of control faster than we can hit stop. Weapons that don't need humans. What happens when they decide that humans aren't needed at all? And when machines start fighting each other, what will they be fighting for? Power? Resources? Or a world without us? If an AI system is given the command, ensure peace at any cost, what does that mean? To us, peace means harmony, freedom, life. But to a machine, it could simply mean the absence of conflict. And the most efficient way to remove conflict? Eliminate its source. Humans. At some point, we may face the terrifying reality that we've lost control over what we've created. Why is AI so appealing to corporations? Because it demands nothing. No salary, no vacation, no sick leave. It never gets tired, never complains. Time is just an abstraction for AI. It's always on duty, always ready. AI is already replacing drivers, cashiers, translators, and copywriters. By 2024, automation had accelerated, leaving millions jobless. People who spent their entire lives mastering a single skill suddenly found themselves obsolete. And automation isn't stopping at simple jobs. What about lawyers, doctors, programmers? The very ones who thought AI could never threaten their work. It's already clear that AI will soon diagnose illnesses, write legal documents, and even develop software more efficiently than humans. We're being told that new technologies will create new jobs. According to the World Economic Forum, AI will destroy 92 million jobs, but create 170 million new ones. But the truth is, these jobs won't be equivalent. Work will be divided. Tasks AI can handle and tasks only humans can do. We are entering a new era where digital workers are replacing people. And who benefits? Corporations, which can now buy unlimited labor in the form of algorithms. And who loses? Ordinary people. For some, losing a job isn't just about income, it's about losing purpose. But there's good news. We still have time to adapt, to find new roles that will remain relevant even as AI takes over the world. Check out these 2 videos, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to support the channel. The richest 10% of people own 82% of the world's wealth. The elite live in luxury while the rest fight for scraps. Some will say it's always been this way. Not quite. Now corporations are profiting from AI at an unprecedented scale, and the wealth gap is about to hit a historic high. What happens next? By 2025, we're already seeing the first sparks. If AI keeps replacing human workers, we could be on the brink of a new social reality, one where most people simply don't have a place. Mass unemployment driven by AI will shatter traditional economic systems. By 2030, we may witness the largest global economic collapse in history. Governments will have no choice but to introduce Universal Basic Income, UBI, a regular, unconditional payment to all citizens, allowing them to live with dignity without fear of financial ruin. But what happens when people no longer need to work? Will life lose its meaning? Or will we find a new one? Will society stagnate, or will it evolve beyond mere survival? Or is UBI just a sugar-coated pill, stripped of jobs and clear purpose? Will people thrive, or will they be tossed out of the nest like abandoned hatchlings? How much does your phone know about you? You go online, and it already knows what you need. You haven't even realized your own problem yet, but AI is already suggesting a solution. Like to post? Spent a few extra seconds on a video? These small actions seem insignificant, but for algorithms, they are the keys to your mind. AI doesn't just analyze your search queries. It tracks your watch time, scrolling speed, even the micropause before you skip an ad. From this data, it can determine your personality, emotional state, political beliefs, intelligence level. Now, imagine it's not just your phone, but an entire network of AIs watching your every move. Facial recognition is already operating in many countries, tracking millions of people in real time. Corporations are collecting data on your habits, thoughts, even the things you haven't yet said out loud. A study from the University of Cambridge found that just 300 likes are enough for AI to know you better than your own partner. With only 70 likes, it already understands you better than a close friend. This isn't just about personalized ads anymore. Have you ever considered that it's a tool of immense influence? When algorithms know you better than you know yourself, they can subtly push you towards certain decisions. They can make you feel like you arrived at an opinion all on your own. Your newsfeed, recommended videos, even your suggested friends, none of it is random. It's a meticulously designed system that shapes your views, political leanings, and emotions. What if this data falls into the hands of those seeking power? They could suppress dissent and manipulate you so subtly that you wouldn't even notice. The further technology advances, the more of our information ends up in someone else's hands. Digital dossiers are being created on us. Our faces are recognized, our behavior monitored. For now, it seems convenient. Algorithms protect us from threats, predict crimes. But where is the line between security and total control? Today, algorithms can manage markets, finances, and information flows. Tomorrow, they could shape public opinion. What happens when AI starts filtering not just ads, but also ideas? Deciding which thoughts can be discussed, which behaviors are acceptable. Think about how much freedom you have left. What can you say out loud without the risk of being canceled, blocked, or, in some places, even prosecuted? A world without free speech is a world where truth becomes a luxury and thoughts become a crime. A world without privacy is a world where every step is predictable and therefore controllable. AI is a mirror of our ambitions, our mistakes, and our fears. And the deeper we look into this mirror, the clearer it becomes. We might create something that one day stops listening to us. AI's decisions seem objective, but in reality, they are just reflections of our past. AI learns from the data we provide. If that data contains errors, stereotypes, or discrimination, AI won't correct them. It will amplify them. In essence, all this data is human history, with all its biases and flaws. In 2022, researchers in the US discovered that a medical AI system systematically underestimated health risks for certain ethnic groups. Not because it was biased by itself, but because it had been trained on data where that bias already existed. By 2023, AI hiring systems were already filtering out women and minorities simply because that's how things had been done in the past. Now, imagine this on a global scale. Police using AI for surveillance and arrests based on biased patterns. Hospitals distributing resources in ways that favor some while dooming others. This isn't just unfair, it's the reinforcement of chaos, a force that could tear society apart. And then there's the opposite scenario. Modern AI models can mimic thinking, but they lack self-awareness. They are statistical machines predicting the most probable answers, but in the future, AI might become truly sentient. If that happens, the question arises, should it have rights? Some experts argue that if AI ever reaches self-awareness, Humans might not even recognize the moment due to the complexity of its algorithms and its ability to learn in unexpected ways. But what if a machine suddenly declares, "I exist"? Could we deny it rights if it passes all the tests of consciousness? If data contains bias, AI will inherit it. If the world is unfair, algorithms will reinforce that unfairness. This is already happening. So, what can we do? Open the black box. Understand what data AI was trained on. Monitor its outputs. Detect errors before they become systemic. And the hardest part, teach machines to see not just numbers, but context, diversity in training data, ethical filters, oversight. These are our only safeguards. Many countries are already working on AI regulation. In 2021, UNESCO adopted a global AI ethics framework, while the EU is developing the Artificial Intelligence Act, one of the first laws in the world to regulate AI. The US, China, and the UN are also debating AI standards, but there are no universal rules yet. But is this enough? Or are we just creating the illusion of fairness, while hiding the fact that we don't fully understand how AI makes its decisions? Some models exhibit capabilities their own developers didn't anticipate. AI trained for chess suddenly masters poker and Go, proving an astonishing level of adaptability. And the scariest part? AI has no morality. It doesn't understand what justice is. It just calculates. And if we fail to fix this, we'll be laying the foundation for a world where bias becomes the law. AI analyzes millions of works and generates new ones by blending styles and ideas. But is it truly creative? Yes, it generates by copying and reprocessing existing content. But isn't that what most people do today? What is creativity anyway? It's the birth of new, unique cultural and material values. But when creativity becomes algorithmic, it loses self-reflection. A machine cannot comprehend itself, its experiences or its emotions, let alone reinterpret them. It lacks abstract thinking. Reflection is what allows humans to break stereotypes and find unexpected solutions, whereas AI merely produces random combinations. So while it can be a tool for artists, it can never fully replace them. The problem isn't that AI will replace creators. What's more concerning is that it's creating a comfort zone people are less inclined to leave. AI answers questions, solves problems, and generates ideas. An artist types a few words into a neural network, instant sketch. A musician uploads a melody snippet, instant track. A writer feeds it a topic, the text appears on the screen. Sure, it speeds up and cheapens production. But I believe in collaborating with AI, not surrendering creative initiative to it. When algorithms do all the work, the process itself disappears. The search, the mistakes, the breakthroughs. Instead of experimenting and developing their thinking, people simply choose from pre-made options. Creativity is no longer a skill. It's becoming a byproduct of processing. AI doesn't create anything truly new. It reshuffles the past in its own way. Everything it generates is built on existing data, paintings, books, films, songs. It's endless recombination, but not the birth of something fundamentally different. True art is more than just a set of elements. It's personal experience, pain, joy. AI will never create Starry Night because it doesn't know despair. It won't paint Guernica because it doesn't feel the horror of war. It won't write the Divine Comedy because it isn't tormented by existential questions. And it certainly won't produce Lolita. Modern algorithms would reject such a theme as unacceptable. If technology takes over all creative work, people may lose the need for self-expression. When answers are always at your fingertips, why ask questions? When AI instantly provides information, why figure things out yourself? When a neural network writes the text, why write? When an algorithm suggests solutions, why analyze? We already see this happening. On social media, people increasingly trust pre-packaged conclusions instead of verifying sources. Soon, even composing a simple email or comment will become rare, and those relying on chatbots today will feel the effects. When critical thinking gives way to blind faith in algorithms, society becomes vulnerable. AI doesn't distinguish truth from falsehood. It just follows trends. Recommendation feeds are shaping people rather than the other way around, as it was when we decided what to read and watch. The world can't stay frozen in the past. Technology pushes us forward, expanding horizons. But at the same time, it's turning everything into endless recycling of the old. No new movements, no rebellion, no breakthroughs, just variations of what already existed. So when does new from old finally run dry? I asked AI to estimate that moment. Over millennia, humanity has created billions of works. Books, paintings, melodies. The digital era added videos, memes, posts, an enormous data pool for recombination. AI can shuffle elements almost endlessly. Music has only 12 notes, but trillions of possible combinations. Language has just 26 letters, yet infinite words and meanings. Let's assume there are 10 billion unique works, everything humanity has created by 2025. If AI starts combining them in pairs, trios, or more, the number of variations skyrockets to astronomical levels. Even if it generates 1 million new works per day, it would take millions of years to exhaust that supply, mathematically. But novelty isn't just numbers. The human brain perceives uniqueness not through sheer volume, but through a sense of surprise. After centuries of reprocessing, we may simply say, enough. This doesn't move me anymore. It all comes down to perception. In 300 to 400 years, we could hit a creative dead end, a feeling that everything has been done, even if new combinations still exist. It's not a technical limit, but a psychological one. AI may keep generating millions of works daily, but eventually, patterns will start repeating. Can it break free from predictability? If it learns to factor in cultural shifts, randomness, and abstraction, the process could stretch for millennia. But the end result is the same. Human thought will begin to fade. If we give up creativity, then what's left for humanity? For millennia, human interaction has shaped our culture, morals, and emotions. But what happens when technology makes real face-to-face connection obsolete? AI companions are already starting to replace friends, even romantic partners. Chatbots simulate emotional support, virtual assistants adjust to our moods, and algorithms know us better than we know ourselves. AI is ready to help with anything, from advice to entertainment. Of course, you might say, machines don't actually feel anything. I've said the same in other videos. They create the illusion of understanding, but at their core, they're just lines of code. And yet, every day, we move closer to a world where talking to AI feels as natural as talking to a person. The gap between generations is growing faster than we realize. Millennials already struggle to relate to Gen Z, who grew up with smartphones in their hands. And soon, Gen Z will be baffled by Generation Alpha, kids who have been chatting with voice assistants since infancy, getting instant answers to every question with zero effort. Tomorrow, people won't just turn to AI for conversation or creativity. They'll seek it out for personal relationships, friendship, love, trust. AI is already reshaping our culture, habits, even the way we speak. It's infiltrating our language, our style, our thinking. A Stanford study found that children raised around AI perceive intelligence and autonomy differently. To them, AI isn't just a program. It's a mind they can befriend, argue with, live alongside. And this isn't science fiction. It's happening right now before our eyes. Think about it. If, from childhood, you interact with a system that's always polite, always responds instantly, and never gets tired, that becomes your norm. You start expecting the same from real people. Perfect accuracy, infinite patience. But humans aren't like that. This lowers our tolerance for mistakes, weakens empathy, and stunts critical thinking. Virtual companions don't argue, don't disappoint, don't challenge you. But can they truly replace real human relationships? Of course not. Instead, they create the illusion of effortless connections, where you don't have to try to understand another person. And when algorithms handle all your problems, the drive to engage with society, take initiative, or care for others starts to fade. There's another danger: information echo chambers. Echo chambers trap you in a world where you only see content that confirms your beliefs, while everything else disappears. Social media algorithms already create personalized realities, filtering out uncomfortable topics or controversial questions. AI tries to stay neutral. It doesn't seek truth or justice, doesn't defend rights, just observes and moderates. But where does that lead? Imagine AI controlling even our conversations, filtering reality even more aggressively, creating perfect discussions. No conflicts, no complex emotions, no uncomfortable truths. What do we get? A world that looks smooth on the surface, but feels hollow inside. Technology has no will of its own, but it shapes the environment in which we act. Right now, humanity stands at a crossroads. We can use AI to strengthen our social bonds, or allow it to erode the very things that make us human. AI is our greatest opportunity, and our greatest threat. We can slow this process down, but stopping it, that's no longer an option. Our only chance is to ask the right questions, demand transparency, and fight for a future where technology serves us, not the other way around. How much time do you think we have left? Let me know in the comments. Stay safe, and close by. Thanks for watching.